The go-home Raw to SummerSlam took place tonight, and he started to show off with the signature video with the WWE cut in and out, so obviously it tells you Retribution's going to be a part of it. And before I talk about the show, I had to mention this. This is a huge news story. It got on national media, actually, and that is Sonya Deville. So I've briefly read the story. She's okay, thankfully, but what had happened was there was an incident where she had a stalker online, a fan who was stalking her. And he had continued to send her messages, and I guess he found out where she had lived, and he drove to Sonya Deville's house, armed, and he was there. He went to her house. Thankfully, she was not harmed. The guy was arrested. It seems like everything's okay now. But that is a scary fucking story. And this happens to a lot of female, well-known female celebrities. I can tell you a story. There was an actress in the 1980s. I forget her name. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to look it up. It's Rebecca Schneifer. She was shot dead by just a psycho fan who was obsessed with her. Thankfully, that did not happen to Sonya. Or Daria, her real name. She's okay now. But, that's a scary story. I feel really bad for her. I wonder how this is going to affect the match on SummerSlam if, I don't know, maybe they want to have her win, but I feel really bad for her. Thankfully, everything's okay. Anyway, going to the show, you had the Retribution shit mess with the people here. You had Drew start off, and the show's fucked up. It's hacked. It goes in and out. They show random graphics. This is boring. I did not like it. I thought it was over the top. And I'm already sick of this Retribution shit. I already want the storyline to be over. I don't care about... people call them... I heard one funny nickname for Retributions. Aces and 5.8 and 5'8". If you understand that ever Aces and 8's the worst stable ever, I think they're in TNA or whatever... They call them, and they had similar tactics. So what people are calling them here are aces and 5'8", because everyone's 5'8". They're all midgets. This sucked. McIntyre cut a promo, was all messed up. They go backstage, and they hack it. So they break into a production truck. They threaten people. They beat people up. I just did not like this at all. I was just bored. I hate Retribution. They had an MVP promo backstage. You had Apollo Crews face Shelton Benjamin. Non-title match. Apollo Crews wins the match. Very average. Not much to say here. Not a fan of this whole... I don't know. Some people like the Hurt Business. I just find it boring. I just don't care. It's just so mid-card to me. The Hurt Business, I mean... Didn't they have a stable on... mention TNA again, but... What was it called? The Beatdown Crew? Something like that? The Beatdown Crew? That was the name, but I wanted to mention it because they were no good either. But I do think the Hurt Business is better than that. He had Andrade, accompanied with Angel Garza, accompanied with Zelina Vega and Andrade, face Ivar. Angel Garza gets the win. Eric and Ivar are just jobbers. They suck now. They show images of Dominic's bruised body from the cane whipping he took last night. You had Angelo Dawkins ask, I think it was this chick, backstage for her number. What's her name? I forget. It's the Dancing with the Stars. I don't remember which side she's from, but Garza runs in and he's angry, and Vega and Andrade are there. They all try to grab Dawkins' phone. Charlie Cruiser shows up and wonders what's going on. And they're going to show footage, and they show that Zelina Vega spiked Montez's drink, and Zelina has a face of guilt, has a look of guilt on her face, and she bickers on Charlie Cruz while she tries to blame on her. You had Natalya against Mickie James. Mickie James' grand, big return to the WWE on Raw has just fell flat. They're doing nothing but Mickie. I like Mickie James. Thought they'd push her more, but I guess at her age, it is what it is. But Natalya wins by countout. They had Seth Rollins yell at Samoa Joe backstage, and he's angry. You had Bayley and Sasha Banks enter the ring. More talking segments. They're excited for Sunday. They call Asuka stupid for taking them both on. At SummerSlam, Banks and Bayley pretend to argue who should beat her first. Bayley offered to beat Asuka first, which would allow Banks to win without breaking a sweat. Shayna Baszler enters. She said she wants to do whoever the Raw Women's Champion was after SummerSlam. She wanted to face him. Asuka enters to talk too. Asuka and Baszler team up. They face Sasha Banks and Bayley. This is an okay matchup here. And as this match was, this match continued. It felt like I just hated the ending. I got really mad. Why would you beat Bayley? Why beat her right now? She's going to defend her title against Asuka. By having her win or having her lose, it makes you think Bayley's probably going to beat Asuka, and then she'll face Shayna Baszler. That's what it makes you think. But I can't understand. If Asuka was going to beat Bayley, which they always do, they usually have the challenger beat the champion before the show. That's sometimes they'll do that, so that's fine. Hey, it gets you a bit psyched up for SummerSlam, but what does this build to? It's not going to be a match. We already know it's not going to be a match at Payback because Shayna Baszler is not going to be. I guess she doesn't have a tag team partner because Bayley and Sasha already said they're going to defend the tag titles. So can't do a match at Payback. I hated it. I hated how it's set up. I don't understand why Baszler had to beat Bayley, but she does. They congratulate Titus O'Neil winning some award. They do a video package on the Mysterio Rollins Dominic storyline. They had Apollo Crews talk to some guys backstage. Some irrelevant guys. They don't really mean much. You had an okay segment. They go backstage. Randy Orton walks into the show. He's there. They had Shawn Michaels talk to Drew McIntyre for a while backstage. Shawn gives him good advice. I thought this was a well-done segment. Michaels is telling him to let him handle his own business against Randy Orton. I really liked this segment a lot, actually. I thought Shawn did really well here. He says he hasn't let anyone down, and all that adversity is made for him. He says Michaels said Drew earned his spot. He also wanted a favor from McIntyre to give him his space when he goes to face Orton. Elsewhere, they showed the Iconics. They approach Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan to mock them, and I also wanted to mention Peyton Royce at some competition. I saw her photo. Obviously, Peyton Royce is smoking hot, but man, I hated that photo. I was like, oh fuck, she looks deathly ill. The other thing I can compare it to is if you have an MMA fighter, and sometimes they have to cut weight, and they always actually do cut weight before a fight and say they're losing a lot of weight. They look scared, look like they're deathly ill. So I don't know if it was some classic. It wasn't an Arnold classic, but some bodybuilding fitness competition, and man, she's just really committed to that. Did it get me worried seeing her body in that kind of state? They show them going back and forth with Ruby and Liv. The Iconics are alright. Ruby and Liv are a decent team, Riot Squad, and it sets up Peyton Royce against Ruby Riott. They show the Iconics there, then once they go to Shayna Baszler talking to Maria Shafir and Jessamine Duke, and that's clearly going to set up Raw Underground. They show Retribution video package, so they literally has to highlight the group that's terrorizing the show. Good job, WWE. Peyton Royce faces Ruby Riott. Nothing here. I don't understand. It's like, why not just release Ruby now if you're going to treat her like this? She gets buried every match. I thought like her being with Liv, she's going to gain her confidence. She does not. She gets pinned quickly by Peyton Royce. I didn't understand. Peyton Royce wins in a quick match. Less than 3 minutes. It was like a Divas match. Peyton Royce with the win. They go Raw Underground. Ziggler's watching Shane McMahon. Eric beats some guy with knee strikes. Ziggler faces Eric, and this is alright for a while. And you had the third hour start. You had Rey Mysterio and Dominic segment. I thought Mysterio was good. He had Dominic, and I think he should have shown Dominic, but he's there and he has a sweater on to show hide his wounds. Mysterio cut a very good promo, very passionate promo by Rey. Rey did really well here, and it sets up the match he has with Seth Rollins. And he used 2 kendo sticks, and he attacked Murphy, and Rollins escaped, and set up a good segment and a good match. Hopefully Dominic with the win, and Rey had to have his eye covered up here. MVP approaches Cedric Alexander. Oh, I'm going to skip this, I don't care. They do a Raw Underground. They show Ruta Ross and Riddick Moss. Not much here. You had 6-man tag, MVP Benjamin and Lashley against Andrade, against Apollo Crews, Ricochet, Mustafa Ali. Heels get the win. Just feels like there was no wrestling on the show. Especially, I guess a go-home show of SummerSlam, you want more talking, but again, doesn't feel like SummerSlam. Just the same thing WrestleMania was this year. Doesn't feel like WrestleMania at all. Although I guess they're going to try and do this in arena, it doesn't feel like it's whatever. We'll see what the Thunderdome is, though. I'm looking forward to that. MVP beats Cruz for a while, worked over him, and he got the win. Basler, Shafir, and Duke talked to Shane McMahon backstage. Cedric Alexander beats Akira Tozawa. Raw Underground, Marina Shafir beat up someone with submission. Nia Jax knocked down Shafir, and then she also kicked Duke, who was watching, and it sets up the fight. And Nia Jax does not want to fight Shayna Baszler and sets up her match. Montez Ford beat Andrade. Not much here. It was a quick match, and it was alright. Of course, Bianca Belair wants to kill Zelina Vega for what she did to her man. Then you had the last segment, which was the Shawn Michaels segment. And Shawn was great here. Shawn cut a very good promo. I thought he did well. He really praised Rick. He said, without Flair, there's no Shawn Michaels, no Triple H, no Batista, no Edge, no Christian, no Big Show, no Drew McIntyre. Of course, he mentions people who Randy Orton took out. Orton's taking out Edge, he's taking out Christian, Big Show, and of course Flair. So with the kick this year, good promo by Shawn. And he said Shawn Michaels is going to get what's coming to him, whether it's from a Salichi music or a Claymore kick. And then all of a sudden, Orton appears from behind. He hits Shawn Michaels with an RKO. And then he knocked his hat off, and it shows his old man hair. And Orton kicked him and punted him really quickly. So he just kills him quick, but it wasn't... it wouldn't look like one of those devastating punts, but he punts him. Drew McIntyre checks on Shawn, and then Orton, as McIntyre's checking on Shawn. I thought Shawn didn't sell it well. I thought he tried to recover too fast. But Orton attacks McIntyre, and then McIntyre kicks Orton's ass, throws him around, throws him into the glass, the plexiglass, over the announce booth, and he checks on Shawn again as Shawn tries to recover. But Orton gets up, hits an RKO on McIntyre, and he stares him down. Michaels... surprised. Him and McIntyre looked like they didn't see what was coming, and that's how the show ended. So that was Raw, and that was the go-home show to SummerSlam, which takes place this Sunday.